Drought. It's a word farmers in western Kansas and western Nebraska know all too well. And on dryland acres or areas that don't have irrigation to help supplement for lack of rainfall, farmers solely rely on Mother Nature to produce enough rain to help their crop grow. But in western Kansas and western Nebraska, Mother Nature doesn't always come through. That's why farmers are looking forward to technology such as Monsanto's first-generation drought-tolerant corn to help mitigate the loss that can occur from too little rain.
Drought is the biggest single thing that we deal with in terms of a yield limiting factor in our area.
The risk of a failure on dryland crops is very real.
Those acres that you have of dryland can really vary on production depending on the rainfall that year and especially timing of rainfall. So often it's how many inches of rainfall do you get a year. You know, I could get 18 inches, but if I get 15 in January, that'll really alter your growing season precipitation.
If you can get 100 bushels an acre, you're thinking you're doing pretty good. Obviously last year it was 140, but you know, a couple of years prior to that, you know, it was a little under 100. So, you know, average, you know, say 100 to 125 bushel an acre.
There are nights you go to bed thinking, you know, man, if we could just get a rain tonight, we would have a corn crop. And it seems like every year there is one time or two times during the summer that if we could have caught that rain, or we would have had drought technology that could have bought us another week, it would have made a huge difference on what our yield would have been in the end.
Drought One will help farmers minimize the risk that they have due to drought. It's the first time we'll have focused this kind of energy on actually producing a product specifically for those areas that have drought tolerance as their biggest problem.
Drought One has a lot of potential for this area, both for dryland and irrigated acres.
The Drought One technology, I'm excited about it because we need any technology these companies can give us. We need out here in western Kansas.
It should help us achieve a greater degree of yield stability so that even if we don't have the optimum in-season rainfall, we're still going to get a return on our investment in our land and machinery and everything else. We hope that it will just help us produce in the years that would have been a failure.
Our breeding organization has worked on drought tolerance for many, many years, and now we're combining our transgenic technologies with it along with improved agronomic systems.
So when you combine improved breeding, new drought-tolerant technology, and advanced agronomic practices, Monsanto truly is providing a total package to help farmers mitigate risks from drought.
Companies are doing their best to see that we have what we need to grow the kind of crops that we need to grow and try to conserve, you know, our natural resources to the best of our ability.
We're not going to find any more land. We're not going to find any more water. We're not going to get any more different climate here. We're maxed out to where we are right now. We just need to expand our technology on how to use the resources we have.
We obviously, you know, cut our populations back in a lot of cases to try to get things thinned out enough that they have plenty of room to compete against one another.
All of our irrigated ground is strip-tilled, and all of our dryland is either no-till or strip-till.
And I think that's the type of stuff we're going to have to continue to look into is not only the technology and traits, which we're going to have to continue to grow this corn, but we're also going to have to change our agronomic views.
Pending regulatory approvals, Monsanto plans to introduce the first-generation drought product in 2012. But Monsanto isn't stopping there. In a joint R&D collaboration with BASF, Monsanto is working on a second-generation drought technology. And although it's years from being introduced, farmers are already anticipating planting that technology on their farm.
The Drought 2 technology that Monsanto has to offer, I think, is going to be, we need this technology.
Drought 2 technology it's obviously or probably going to be better than Drought 1 because it's going to be researched longer and it's taken longer to get to the field, but it will have a big impact on our farm and the entire area as far as that goes.
That's very comforting to know that they're spending so much time on research on that drought management and to know that that's such a huge factor in this part of the country.